Yes, so my people, you're welcome once again. Thank you so much for joining. As you all know, don't forget to support me on this page, on my YouTube channel, on any of my platforms. Feel free to share the video. It's always good if you share the video. Share the video, because if you don't share it, then people will not really get the message, will not get us. So it's very important to share the video, and it's also important to subscribe. If you have not subscribed, I welcome you. Please subscribe to my Facebook, to my YouTube channel. Subscribe, and you are also welcome to send me stars or super chat or super thanks or super stickers, however you deem fit. You're welcome, my people. So in this video this evening, I want to bring to you two things. The first one is just bringing you the update from our Savo International desk, so that you know what is up with our Savo nation. And then the second one is something that is happening all the time. It keeps recurring, and you begin to hear that news again. And somehow, even though how prevalent the case is, nobody's thinking about the solution or one of the way to curb this kind of incident to continue to happen. So I think that I will just merge it together in this video so that we can have that conversation. So once again, you're welcome. As you all know, the Southeast is very peaceful right now, because the Southeast has been blessed by their beloved son, Naburuha Kanu. And right now, the whole place is blossoming with all forms of peace, and the people are traveling around, right? And you cannot be sure if you go out where you are coming in, that kind of a thing. So now there's a way that the big people have now realized that this is the only way to travel to the Southeast. And the question is, why do you have to travel to the Southeast like this, a place that is peaceful? Somebody called me and was writing to me, you are reporting all this thing. It's not a real situation. The Southeast is very peaceful. I agree. So why would somebody travel to a peaceful region like this? That is the question you have to ask. So they said, although the person that posted it said it's a Mekofo, someone else posted something to me and said it's not a Mekofo. That is a chairman of something industry. So I don't know if he's really. So they are taking him to the airport in Southeast. So where you're supposed to come and flex and show how you are Odogu. Hey, now wow. Seeing is believing. In a very peaceful region, oh, that is how you travel. So the man is saying, what is power is contact. So you have to have the contact of all these people to travel last song. Just to travel last song. You don't know what you have until you lose it. Just to travel. And this one is I don't know, he has the contact. Do you have the contact? You Rofo Bingo. You have the contact. It's not to come here and be typing blessed and Do you have the contact to go to the east like this? That is the only way you can be sure. What is the sup? Good evening, Chike, Charles. Happy New Year to you. Good evening, Etinosa. This is it. This is it. To travel to the Southeast. That people will travel anyhow, go and find. They say somebody is marrying, somebody is burying somebody. They will just go do burial, do funeral, do itumaya, different kinds of things. Now, tell me, even though if you have the contact, how many times in a year can you mobilize like this and go to the Southeast? Your own homeland in a time of peace and safety. This is what you brought upon yourself. So, so many people who went without this kind of fortification, they did not come back. Those people you saw inside that bush, inside that they carry all those Lexus. Now, big man like this now. Not be big man, they carry Lexus. Una do, una well done. Now, so this is how you travel. This is a must see. So if you are traveling and you don't have the contact like this, I don't know what will happen for you. You know, the people will get grants. That's how they travel. Safe and sure, protected. So the question for bingos and their supporters, do you have the contact? Mm? Do you have the contact to go and travel like this? And I'm sure that this man said they will be guiding his house like this also 24/7. As if he say they don't learn another one, say that they burn people house. Well, we want the people, you brought it upon yourself. There's nothing anybody can do. What is done is done. The man is just living, coming and going. This is how they escort them into the southeast. So this is their new reality. This is their new reality. So it's the safety, it's the blessings. So count your blessings. Count the blessings of Unaburu Nukano and name them one by one. One of it is going with enough contact. As if even I don't know that people go to somewhere in Somalia like this. And it never reach you. It's just starting. It's just starting. Naburu Kano, he said, you people, if you don't give him his Biafra, that Somalia will be better. Okay. Well, what did he do to get the Biafra? Where did he go? All lies. See, I don't know that Somalia is anywhere near like this. So me, I don't know. But this is your blessing. So enjoy it. Enjoy it, because nobody will envy you for this kind of one. Nobody will envy you. Yeah, so my people, moving on quickly, I wanted to share with you this news, and it's been a while now. So the news was that they went into a house, and in that house they found 10 women that were carrying belle, like I'm showing you here. They were carrying belle, 10. And if you look at these women now. Good evening to James, I greet you. If you look at these girls now, you see that I don't think that any one of them is up to 25 years. I'm looking at them that maybe they will be like 18, 19, if at all of them are up to 18. Let's just assume, I'm speculating. So they will be in that bracket of somewhere from teenage age to 25 years. And so they said that they bust this house and they found them there. So according to Vanguard, yeah, exactly. I don't want to mention that word, but that is exactly what it is. So that's the local word for it. That's the local word for it. And somehow, everything that is wrong, they like kind of allow it, enable it, and justify it, and before you know it, it becomes like a norm. So I want us to look at this post from Vanguard when Vanguard reposted it. So they were saying that Nigerian operatives that in Rivers State they bust two factories, and na 10 of them na they carry belle, the girls wey they carry comot for there. And they said the state police is the one reporting this thing. So they said that the men of the C42 unit, I don't want to show this video, so raided two of the factories in Iguruta and Oma Agba communities, both in Ikwere local government area of the state, following intelligence. So they noted that 4 of the suspect operators of the home have been arrested. The efforts are on to arrest the fleeing syndicate for prosecution. So this thing happened actually on Saturday, the 7th. It happened on the 7th, and they said that they were using two houses, and it's already what we explained. And that there were people that they were taken there because they were pregnant. So they said the suspects have been arrested. They are 30 years old from Umudioga community in Emu, our local government area, um, of River State. The other one is Peace, 40 years old from Ibuta. These are the people running the place. And another one who is the leader of the place, they said is Noble Uzuchi, 17 years. So the news had it that that Noble is the one that give other 10 women belle, but I don't think so. Then another one is Chigozie Ogbonna. He is 29 years. So they said the people that they rescued, 10 of them. Investigation is so far revealed that that when they born those children, they will take those pikin from their hand, they will give them 500,000 naira. So that's why the ladies are there, so that they will give them that 500,000. And all of them confess that they have been, that they trick them to come there, to come and carry their pikin, give them, make dem give them money because of the need to meet some financial challenges. So that's the moral decadence that we are seeing, that somebody think it's okay that I have need, so now I go born pikin, make I go give them. I feel like this is when we are talking about this transatlantic trade, this wetin oyibo do, they come here carry our people go sell them, all those kind of a thing, and we are very angry. Where many people will say, oyibo people, they sell us, they use us, do many things. When you now today, in our today world, when you are not seeing something like this, good evening Alex also, when you are seeing something like this, you now realize how internalized doing bad thing is actually within us, that we just, as long as it's not my own, we just internalize it, and it becomes a business, a means of earning. How can somebody say you want to pay for anything, now you now have to give belle to go? So how did you come to the level that you trivialize the existence of a whole human being? And I think that is where the solution should go. You understand me? You understand? That's where the solution should go. Bingo, stay out of my broadcast. I don't have anything to do with you. So when I'm looking at this thing, it is troubling for me. He said, because of the need to meet some financial challenges. Honda Pilot Jeep with registration number. That is the number that they got the leader inside. So now they have transferred the case to the CID, state CID, and efforts are intensified to track the children the way they don't say, and to the people where they buy. So before you know it, that will be the end of this one. We will not hear it again. But why do I want to talk about this video? I want to talk about this incident. It's happening all the time. How we can stop it? We live in another era that before, when women are growing up, they were just getting married. Somebody will come to the family, propose, and the family will give the girl away in marriage, and she will just go there and start marrying. Or we live in a situation, in a generation where people are doing boyfriend and girlfriend and living together, living in together, and all those things, and they will be getting pregnant. And somehow the culture that they have to go and do something, or some people, their parents are like church members, maybe they are respected in the church, or chiefs, or cultural, for one cultural reason or the other, you understand, they trivialize the existence of their children, their grandchildren, and so they throw their daughters out, basically, you understand. And I believe that the only way to curb this problem, to make it not to continue, because what is going on now is deceptive morality, because so many people have destroyed their means of having children by all these things, that eventually they will marry, and in that marriage they will not be looking for children. Does it make sense? Does it make sense? Because you are having a child before, but because somebody have not married you, because somebody have not paid your bride price, it's like a trash. You go and throw away that child. And when you are now married and you are placed and everything is good, and that burden will become a burden to bear from the family where you have married into. They will not say it's the mother-in-law that is doing it. There will so many reasons will be given. There will be no peace, and the people will become vulnerable. They will begin to visit native doctor, babalawo, church, like preoccupation. But all these things can be avoided in this day and age. What I'm trying to say is, first of all, they need to teach the young women that you cannot trade your own child as a value for, maybe you want to do your hair, you want to pay hair, you want to buy hair, something like, I don't know where that kind of mindset come from. This is from the side of the men. We can see so many criminality going on, and from the side of the women, we are seeing that they are not valuing the small children that God bless them with. Even though the children are coming at that time. I've seen it when I was in Yoruba land, that, for example, if that kind of thing happens, everybody will be angry with the girl and not be happy. But eventually, one of the family members will take her in, care for her, and they will pay for the hospital bill. She will give birth to the child, and then she will move on with her life. She will continue with her education. She will learn a skill. It will not destroy her. It will not change anything. Then, even if it gets to the part that in the future she have learned her lesson the hard way, because this thing that they are doing, that they are buying all their children when they are small, they are paying it forward, but they don't know, in different ways. Some of these girls, they don't even know the implication of what they are doing. Some of them, by the time they are older, the trauma, they will not be thinking, that child wey dem say, where e dey, wetin dey happen to am, did he live, did he die? That kind of thing will be producing women that are not normal in the society, because we are seeing so many abnormal things that women are doing, and you will be wondering what is happening to them. Me, I'm thinking that all these things that they are giving room for the women to be doing. And most of the time, this rejection of young girls that got pregnant is predominantly in the southeast. And that doesn't make you special. That doesn't make you that, and especially the way they are buying people now, umubingos. Where are you going to get the population to replenish the one that they are taking away? You need to re-examine this. Like, I mean, I welcome your commentary. This is my opinion. I'm thinking that it is time to stop throwing your daughters away just because they got pregnant. No, no, no. The idea that it is going to encourage her to stay at home and start, no, no, it's only a girl that didn't have any dream in her life. Most of the time, they did not plan they did not expect that it will happen, or they were promised and they were abandoned. Sometimes there are women, sometimes you get together with a man, he promise you everything. At the end of the day, it's all based on promises. Everything we are doing when we are dealing with opposite sex, it's all about promises and trust of word of mouth. Nobody knows if the person will keep his promise or not. And they get together, they are doing their doings together, and a child comes into play. And if the boy or the man leaves the girl, it's not enough reason for the family of the girl to abandon her and throw her out, and she will not fall into the hands of all these syndicates. You know, good evening. Good evening, Tony. It's not enough. We need to look into this culture and stop it. Because if the young lady has a refuge, a place, that she can stay with her child, that you can help the child, that you can help her, and she will train that she have learned her lesson. That kind of fire will not burn her a second time. If you send her to school, she will concentrate in her school because she has walked the path of pain and, abandonment. She will not allow that kind of a thing to happen to her. She will walk the high and mighty road, and she will still have that child. And there will be no desperation in the future to go and hang on to anybody because she doesn't have a child. We need to re-examine the value system that is making, that is like it's a breeding ground for criminals to operate upon. Because if you do not throw your daughter out, there will be no syndicate to tell her, come here and give birth, and then we'll collect the child and we'll give you money. And those children, where are they giving them? They are giving them to people who did this thing that they are doing. And you understand? The people that did all these things that they were doing when they were younger, and when they get married, when they are older, they are not able to conceive again. They are not able to give birth to children, you know? Yeah, for the stem cell, they don't really need life. Even the placenta is enough for the stem cells. Like here, when I want to give birth here, I remember they asked me if I want to save the placenta. You can save it. So in case in the future, if they need, like if there is a medical need for the child, so they will use the stem cells from the placenta. So they don't really need a live human. Yeah, they don't really need a life, So I think we need to persuade. I had something similar in my family, and one of my aunts from my step grandmother's side, the daughter, the first daughter, she was pregnant before they were married, and it became a big issue. It was a big issue because the father was a pastor. The father was a pastor, and like, you know what it means now when the daughter of a pastor, that kind of is, the whole thing was going all over the place. And it was a big deal, actually. So when I had the opportunity to weigh in, I was like, what is the big deal? What is the big deal? She has the child now. In future, she's also going to have a child. So she's on the path, she's in the university, everything is going well. Give room. It's not a baby. We live in another generation. It's no longer about you now, your ego and your status. And there's an aspect of it, but then you have to accept that you cannot control everything. And as a pastor, you're supposed to know that you cannot control everything. If God allowed it to happen, then let it be. You understand? So it happened that they now gave room and allowed the young lady, and she gave birth to the child. It was a bouncing baby boy. And then later, the person that she was involved with, they came back and they got married. And they got married and they have that child, and they had another two children also. Like they are living together, they're a couple. That is an exception. I know it may not always be the case, but there are also people that they have that child, but they remarried and continue to marry somebody else, and they can also have children. You should not, because your daughter have pregnancy, and ruin her and her life and her future, and your own grandchild, you will reject it because of any other situation, because that child is also part of your own bloodline. Why would you reject your own bloodline because of your status, because of church, because of so many things? So this is how I'm weighing in. I said, if you can do this, if you have family members, if you have relatives, if one person in the family can support. I remember one time there was this family. They are also very predominant, like big church people, and they were having some ladies in the house. And the expectation is when they will be doing their wedding, it was very high. And lo and behold, the first daughter got pregnant because the person she was going out with, they thought they will marry and everything. It didn't work out, and she has gotten pregnant in the process. And now she's there, and she's the first daughter. And now she's pregnant, and there are also other daughters that are there. But the father was wise enough to allow her to have the child. you know Even though for them it was a big disappointment. It was, "Oh, the daughter of this family, the first people in the church, and all those things, and all that kind of a thing." So be it. It's no longer about you, the parent. It's now about this girl and that child and their future. So you can also come down from your selfishness and your selfish high ground. How will people say? Whatever people say, they are going to say something anyway. So what is the big deal? If eventually she didn't have children, people are going to say something anyway. If eventually she didn't marry, people are going to say something anyway. So why don't you allow the girl and give her comfort and allow her to have that child, and then life goes on, and life goes on, you know. I know, of course, I know there are natural cases that can hinder people from having children. I'm not talking about that one. I'm not talking about natural cases that, but predominantly most women, for example, because of all these kind of things that they are doing, and they are waiting for the perfect person that will marry them, and they will do things on their head. They waste their time. That by the time they are even getting married, they are already in menopause. Yeah, it's happening. It's happening. There's too much of late marriages, and not everybody. There are, statistically, not everybody can have the good chance to have children after 40 years. It's high risk. It's high risk. It needs a lot of observation. There are some people it's going to happen, like, for example, people who have had children before in their early years, it's possible. But people who have not had children before, by the time they are 40, statistically, it's no longer plausible like when you are 50, 20. It's true. It's true. That is why, as a parent, you have to be looking out for the interest of your child and her future. And that future is not only about academics and occupation, it's all important. And having a child is also part of it. So if it happens at the time she's 18, don't throw her out. If it happens, it happens. Don't throw her out, because when you throw her out, what are you expecting to happen? What is going to happen? Baby factory syndicates, they will get hold of her. That's what happens. Yes. They will get hold of her, house her, and some girls, they will not even come home. They will say they are in school, they will go to those baby factory, they will give the child away, then they will come home. And you will be thinking you have a whole human being, you know? So I think that this thing is a very shameful something to be happening in the Southeast, in Africa, in this day and age, when we know all the things that happen with Atlantic slave trade, and all the things that happen with all the people that were taken in that form, that they don't really know their roots, like they cannot trace them, they don't really know, so there are some people in their family, they will be different, they will be weird, nobody will understand the genetics of it. Like, how come this person is just off? It's situations like that. I feel like it's time to look into this. Please, my people, in this year, if you hear that anybody in your family or any of your family member reach to you, a lady, and tell you this kind of problem, encourage her to have the child and keep the child. That is the only way you can stop it. You don't have baby factory in any other place in Nigeria except in the Southeast, and it's a cultural thing. Exactly. You are exactly there. Throwing her out is exposing her to the wolves out there. There is no logic to it. It's just that the parents are just so into their own selfish ego and person and status. They are not looking beyond that. They are not looking beyond that. There are people that I remember one time when we were in secondary school. There was one young lady that time. I think she was just about 13 or so. She got pregnant. It was really surprising. It was groundbreaking for us because we were still very small. Like, wow. And then we heard that they are Catholics. They are not allowed to do away with the pregnancy. So she has to give birth to the child. So eventually she gave birth to the child, and she continued with her education back then, way back. And she continued with her education. I don't know whether they have a baby factory that time, but these days people are so into what will people say. The father will say, I'm a chief, I'm a knight in the church, I'm a pastor, I'm a reverend, I'm a bishop. You understand? Your status does not influence what will happen, the outcome of the life of your children in that way. Because when the girl have a child, that's only what has happened. He has a child. I remember there's a case that happened in one of the countries here in Europe, and I saw that girl growing up. When I recently came to Europe, and very beautiful girl. And because most of the socialization is church and church groups and all those kind of things, so the daughter of one of the pastors and the son of the pastor, they got together. They were teenagers, both of them. Like, one is like maybe 2 years or 3 years older than the other. The girl was about maybe 16, and the boy was about 18 going to 19, something like that. And she got pregnant. And in Europe, it doesn't depend on the parents. You can't just throw your child away like that. But the family were supportive. I was surprised because I didn't even know. When I came and I saw the mom with a baby, I was thinking she gave out again to another baby. It was later I now realized that it was the child from the daughter. So the girl gave birth to the child, and the mother, it was like the mother had another child. And after the she weaned the child and all those things, she went back to school. She continued with her education. She's a lawyer today in this Europe. But if you throw her away, expose her, she goes through that rough path, and then maybe go and try to struggle, you have ruined that life. You have ruined your. So what is your use as a parent if you cannot support your daughter in that time of abandonment? Imagine the person that she's with abandoned her to her fate and left her, and you are the mother, you abandon her because of your church, the church that don't know you exist, the pastor that don't care about you, the church hierarchy, all those things. You are a father, you will abandon your own child because you are a chief, because you are a traditionalist, because you are a reverend, because you are whatever. It's wrong. If we the people in the southeast, we need to have a rethink. This thing is only happening in the southeast. You don't see it happen in the southwest. You don't see it happen. You don't see it because there must be somebody in the family, maybe the mother's sister, maybe the mother's brother, or somebody will take in that lady, and she will give birth to that child, and she will move on with her life. Yes, she will move on. It's just a child. It's not a disgrace. It's a human being. If you stop throwing your children away, they will stop thinking that, this child is a body, let me throw it away. You understand me? I feel like we need to start thinking differently. I know, it's cultural and all those things, but tell me, in trying to preserve a culture, you are doing more harm. Does it make sense? Then you have to evolve. You have to evolve. And when you evolve, you will see, like today, we have so many people in the Southeast who don't have a husband and who don't have children, you know, because they were not able to marry, and they are not able to have children. But then it depends. Not everybody wants to have children. Not everybody, some people don't want to have children. It's okay. I'm not putting it on anybody that you must have a child, you must marry, or you must meet all these fulfillments. But I'm just looking at this story, and I'm looking at it that this is something that continues to happen, and this is prevalent in the Southeast. You don't see it anywhere else. And it's time in this year 2023 going forward, we start to have a rethink. And the first step is, if you hear that someone is pregnant in your family, your younger sister, your nephew, your niece, or somebody your lineage, in one way or the other, try to send support and encourage her to have that child and keep that child. Yes, it's time. We cannot be encouraging criminality in the name of that we are trying to preserve our ego and our status. No, because if you are not throwing them out, eh, if we are not throwing your daughters out, they will not be there will be no baby factory practically, and many of the women who waited until they were able to get married, late marriage, and because of that they have issues conceiving. If they had a child when they were younger, it will not be an issue for them again because they already had a child, you know So I lived in Yoruba land, it was not a problem. I served in Akwa Ibom, it was not a problem. If a lady got pregnant, then that is it. She will give back. It's a period of maybe 2 years setback, and that is it. But then it's a child that is involved. Just 2 years setback, she will move on. She will go on. She will go and she will go to university. Everything will be fine. Please, my people, it is time we stop feeding our girls to the wolves. And another aspect of it that needs to be looked into is who is the one putting them in this way and what is the consequences for them. Instead of just throwing the girl out, is, for example, looking for who it is, like making laws that you cannot just abandon a girl like they have done in Lagos. You know, and so if she can bring the person and there's a DNA to prove that this is the person, then he will be forced to bring support for the child because he had all the opportunity not to impregnate her, but he did. And so the government, the State House of Assembly in the Southeast, we enact laws to protect the children of the Southeast. Because look at how they have failed the youth, and the youth are on the path of self-destruction, and they don't care about the newborns that are being given to the highest bidder. It is wrong. I'm telling you, we carry everything for head and we're not doing anyone well. So why should somebody impregnate a girl and then it's only in the south is that it happens that a man impregnates a girl and the family of the man are unconcerned, that they don't even care about their bloodline. It doesn't happen anywhere else. If a Yoruba mother, like if a Yoruba, the mother of a man, hear that the son impregnated somebody, she will go out of her way to look for that child. She will bring that child under her care. Even if the family of the girl reject her, the family of the man will not abandon her as long as it's their bloodline. It's only us that are just indifferent. We elevate, this institution like, like if you marry, and we don't care about the people involved. And we need to change that. If you are a mother-in-law to be, or if your child and that girl has a relationship, and you hear that that girl is pregnant for your son, and your son, you are encourage your son to abandon that child, that lady. You are heartless. You don't care. You say yes, go away. What? You don't do that as a woman, eh? Yes, as a woman, as a mother, and we are talking about your own son, not somebody else. Just because she's not your daughter doesn't mean that you shouldn't be caring about your own bloodline. You understand? Don't because of that and just abandon the girl. It does like, okay, let me say most percentage of the occurrence is happening in our place. That the most times the mother of the men, they don't bother at all at all. They are indifferent, they don't care. But it's a very wrong approach. It's a very wrong approach because that is your blood, that you don't care what is happening to that child. And they throw it out there, sell it to the IAV. Not to talk of in this era that they say they are looking for Okite. You don't know what is happening to your own seed that come out of your body because they have not married, because they have not done something on their head. Then do the thing on their head and preserve your life, preserve your bloodline. That is how it works. So the government must do something. Enough of all this putting people that are going to House of Assembly. This is something that people can demand. We need law that will enact it and say the woman, the welfare department, the women, I don't know what they have, Ministry of Women Affairs or Commissioner for Women Affairs. This is our job. They will make sure that law, they will take it to the man. You cannot, the era that you will just deny pregnancy and move on with your life has passed. You cannot just deny pregnancy and pass. No, there is DNA. Thank God you do the DNA. The DNA will confirm that you are the father and you will pay the support for that child. Full stop. So the girl needs support. This is not the time to abandon your children, your daughters, because they got pregnant. No, you stand by her and take responsibility and hold the person responsible to account. But first of all, you can be angry, you can be mad. Nobody is saying you cannot, show your displeasure. But you have to, after your anger, after you calm down, you have to draw your child together. But what we are doing is you throw away the baby with the bath water. It is a wrong approach. It is a very wrong approach. So, my people, please spread this word. Yeah, we need a child support system. Even the culture, when they say culture evolve, this is part of how culture can evolve. You understand? Because now we have a different culture. By the time they were doing, you have to marry and all those things, it was a different era. You didn't have boyfriend and girlfriend situation. You didn't have living situations. You didn't have, all these situations we are having now, dating and ex and no ex. What you had is somebody who just came and married, and if it didn't work, the lady goes on and marries somebody else. Something. It's a very different era. So we live in another era, and we have to address the problems that are arising from this era that we are in. So the government of the Southeast needs to sit up. Enough of having syndicate of everywhere you see these factories syndicate, you will see our people involved in it. Why? Because they think it's normal. It is not normal. You, as a young girl, I'm encouraging you today. If anything happens to you and you get pregnant, keep your child. Keep your child. Like, keep your child, and you will thank me later. Keep your child. Don't allow anything to pressure you to throw away your child. The child will not stop you. It can only delay you maybe 2 years, 3 years at the most, and then you will move on. And in that 3 years, that 3 years is it goes on by so quickly. There's no particular anything that is going to change in your life in that 3 years. But you have to, offer it for that new life that you are brought to this world. And then you will see how everything will move on for you. And you will see the peace of mind that you will have because you already have a child. So, on the one hand, the parents of the girl needs to stop throwing them away. You need to allow them to have a roof over their head. You need to feed them also. And then the state has to bring in a system that mandates the father that abandoned his duties to account by mandatory support from him or his family, monthly. You don't have to be in good terms with the girl. You don't have to marry her, but that child, so far it is acknowledged that you are the biological father, you must provide the support that is needed for the upkeep. These are the changes we desire. As much as we desire infrastructure, we desire economic change, we need, first and foremost, we need social change value system. And if we can begin to change our value system and look at the things that are important to us, another aspect is this aspect of wealth. But for today, we are talking about this issue. It is unacceptable that your daughter will get pregnant and you throw her to the wolves and she will end up in a factory for women that are pregnant. It's very wrong. Let us rethink. It's a new year. It's a new year to have another outlook. Yeah, all shall be well. All will be well. So this is my own commentary on this issue. This is my mind. This is how I see it. This is my own perspective. I welcome you to continue the conversation in the comment section. If you think otherwise, let us know why, right? And if you have other solutions, profile it. If there's anything I miss, let me know in the comment section. So I thank you all for being a part of this program once again this evening. And I appreciate you all. I'll see you again by the grace of God tomorrow or next. Bye for now. Everything is normal to us. Hookups becomes access. Thank you. Like when I was hearing that hookup, I didn't even know what it meant until I started seeing that video. I didn't know that hookup was akuna. I did not even know, because there was a skit I was looking, and they were asking the girl relationship or hookup, and she was like hookup, because she's not. I was like, what is this hookup? But I didn't give it any thought until I started seeing this video that they were doing, arranging hookup, and then they would do like is babalawo, that they want to sacrifice the person, and they start shouting Jesus, and I'm like, is this really what this hookup is all about? Good evening, my people. So thank you so much. There's no way that we could have lost a war of survival if our ways were right. In it all, God remained and remains blameless. Our culture needs a thorough moral revision. Thank you. We never question things we should question. An example is what Ojuku demonstrated. Yes, those people that buy do not speak, they don't have feelings and all that. But why is it acceptable that Ojuku rejoined the Nigerian army after thousands of Igbo were killed by the same NA and his command? And exactly. This is very very elaborate description. Exactly. So my people, yeah, I will leave it here. Like I said, God bless you, or God be with you, or have a great evening. Bye for now.